And once again, we return to you. Tonight, something special. Of course, we're in the living room. Hustle, love, flow. We want to know, are you thriving or just surviving? We live, y'all. It's our Imitates Live. Let's go.
I'm a filmmaker. I've worked in film, video, and television for over 30 years. I took a little break, but now I'm back.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Art Imitates Live with me, Tanya Dixon. You know, the best to give you we give you the best and the hot topics and of course the forum topics, and we always have something going on, whether we're talking about your sexuality or whether you're getting enough, or how you are in love and relationships, or how you are tonight. Are you thriving or surviving? Hustle or flow. It's going to be going down tonight. And of course, we're going to kick things off in just a few moments with Who's Spiked the Tea? That's our hot topics. And I got plenty of stuff for y'all. So my team out here who is listening right now, there is some R. Kelly stuff coming in tonight. So if you need to go ahead and get your drinks and all that ready, get it right now. Because somewhere in the midst of things, I am going to talk a little bit about him. All right. So everybody hang on for just a moment. We're going to roll to our sponsor and we'll be right back to kick things off with the living room panel in just a few moments. Here we go.
Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon is being sponsored by Candyland Global, bringing your multimedia dreams to life.
Hey, welcome back. Well, we are live here, and it's time for Who Spiked the Tea? You know, there's our hot topics, and we start off for a little. So, like I used to say all the time, it's almost like the Ike and Tina, when they used to do their review, and we do the rolling on the river, and it start off real slow and easy, and then we speed and we crank it up. That's how we do on here on the AIL. So let me go ahead and have my team go ahead and unmute yourselves and come on in, AIL panelists. How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up?
What up?
I'm good.
It's the flavor that you savor.
Huh?
Hey.
I'm getting in where I fit in right this moment, because it's been that kind of a week. So I'm going to go around in a few moments to figure out how you all's weeks are because it was quite a long one. For moi. So, how you doing, Shannon? How was your week?
My week's been pretty packed. I was up till 8 a.m. last night painting. I finished up this for a client, so it's just been slam. Got a photo shoot tomorrow, so it's bleeding over into the weekend type thing.
Cool. I ain't mad. Got to get it where you can.
I'm telling
you. Tianna, how was your week?
It has been up and down and all over the damn place. My boss let me in that there might be an opportunity coming on Friday, and she was going to talk to me about it on Monday. She wasn't able to, and I had to wait until today to figure out what it was, and it's honestly pretty awesome. And then also found out earlier this week that my contract for the internship just got extended and doubled. So that is fantastic. And so anxiety on one hand, trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and happiness on the other end, trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and it's a wild ride.
Right. I manage. That's good. You know, sometimes the roller coaster feels kind of bad, but at least it's never boring.
Yeah.
So, never a dull moment. All right, Pops, what you got going on?
Oh, well, you know, got a little bit more gray. Now I can really be the GOAT for real looking.
All right. How was your week?
It was a great week. I had a little bout with some broccoli. I think it one for broccoli, 0 for pops.
Okay. I know what that means. For those of you who don't, I know what that means.
So, but I'm good. I'm really looking at stuff. Got a numerology book. So that's very, very interesting.
Okay. Yeah, it was because what you had read to me earlier concerning myself, I thought that was pretty
Hold on a
on.
second.
Uh-oh.
Burning the house down.
Burning it down. Got a knot over there.
Burning down the house. Hey.
No, this for real too. Oh man.
You better pull that out. Take that
He's trying to
battery out.
get the fire department to come.
Better take that battery out.
Yeah, we got the mute Pops if he does that again because that's tough on the ears. So
Ooh,
we got the
it's
mute.
tough on your ears. It's tough on my ears too.
I bet. All right, Rickness, how was your week, darling?
My week has been it's been all right. You know what I'm saying? Just standard week, work, reflect. Can't complain. Still breathing, but I'm here. Yeah, all good.
That sounds like a shot at me. Still breathing. It sound like
Wasn't me.
Because my week was horrible.
Oh, no.
Just so that y'all know, man, it was a horrible asthma week. And I didn't do a soul spotlight. And I had to cancel a music video shoot for Sunday because I just can't do that right now. So we
you have to put it on the
for 2
preserve.
weeks. Huh?
You have to put it in a preserve. You're preserving. That's all.
Preserving. We're going to try it in about 2 weeks to see if I'm better because I really would like to direct the video instead of just being an editor. I really would like to be the director of said video. So we're going to see if we can make it work because I don't want to have to direct from the house.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, y'all. So we're quick and in a hurry tonight and getting into the topic. I'm glad I chose a lot of things for hot off the press tonight because we have, we got through that opening very quickly. And you know what? Last week, it seemed like we talked a lot, so we didn't get to all of my topics. So I'm going to go a little faster this week. Let me see where I want to start. I am not going to start with R. Kelly, but I am going to get to R. Kelly in just a few minutes.
Yeah, say that last.
I got something else that might be last, but just hanging here with me. Something I found very interesting. A couple things I found interesting. I was looking. I saw Raven Simone had an article out there. BlackEnterprise.com. Shout out to them and NEWSBREAK also. The article in Black Enterprise where she says that she revealed that she once broke up with her wife because she felt that the Black community would be mad that she was dating a white person. And so let me just look into the article here and give you a little bit more information. Okay. Well, she said they said Ramon is the latest Black celebrity down the rabbit hole of making us about Black people's interest in her racial relationship. They said last week, Jasmine Brand reported that That's So Raven Star opened up during an interview with Noir Online about the self-imposed pressure that she applied to herself when she began dating. And Raven expressed broke up with Mayday while they were dating, that she would be rejected by Black folks. Before I go any further, are you all like, I stepped away for a minute, are you all rolling your eyes real hard or what before I get into more of the article?
I mean, we're the most accepting people on the planet. We're the most accepting people on the planet.
It's not unheard of.
It ain't the first time. It's not the first time. Shit, we even got people rolling their eyes with black on black, black and black relationships. So nothing's going to be good enough for everybody. Okay.
That's right. Well, what I'm saying is, Shannon, when you say it's not unheard of, are you meaning like that the criticism is not unheard of, or the fact that somebody like her is coming up with that is not unheard of?
Both.
Which side? Both sides.
It's very much both. It's very much both. I can understand having the pressure from the community. I mean, I've been told, I was in a relationship on and off for 2 years, and finally near the end of it, he told me that one of our biggest issues was that I was not Black. And I was like, I have not been the entire 4 years that you've known me. So I'm not sure why this became such a pressing issue right now.
And even if Black Lives Matter didn't exist, would you feel the same way?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like I said, teach their own, but it's never going to be good enough for anybody. It's not even good enough in their own race today. Yeah, so life.
And you know what? Before I go any further, I forgot to show you all that I have a new Moscato tonight. I'm drinking Bello Bola Peak Moscato. We're gonna see what it's like. Bello Bola.
I just know when you can't feel your leg.
We stepping up.
Yes, we're gonna see what that's like. If it can help me through my asthmatic trip.
So y'all gonna make me go get my bottle now.
Bruh.
I got this Tennessee wine. I got some Tennessee wine.
All right. You say something, Wild Side?
Yeah, I can't drink tonight. I gotta drive to the airport at like 2 a.m.
Sick.
Oh, well, this is for our homie. This is for the homie.
Yes.
Yeah, I get to drop off my roommate
back
and
to
then
the
head on to the beach.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, good for them.
You there?
This is chaos tonight. I'm enjoying myself.
Just getting started.
Absolute chaos. We got fire alarms. We got glitches.
Because I can give you more. She said, I'll be honest, it was kind of self-inflicted, old way of thinking that the Black community would be mad that I was dating a white person. It was this residual thought process that really wasn't fact. And so I didn't know how to communicate that with her as well. And then that she, and I felt weird. But then again, happening, I think is carrying really working for the now. So there's a lot going on with her on that situation, but like Shannon said, people deal with it all the time. I think at some point or another, we have all dated someone who was not exactly our race. And what we do.
Not exactly.
Exactly not our race.
Not exactly
not our race.
And I had to say it that way because, Black people, we are a smorgasbord. We do have a lot going on.
We got the Rainbow Coalition going over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think really a lot of times some people like to play the victim when they're not the victim. Because when you're making a certain amount of money, that you really don't care about what the little people think back down there. You're making your millions of dollars. You really could care less about what Joe on the block thinking about, or Bobo thinking about, or your homeboy back in there. When you're riding around your Rolls Royce, you're like, okay, well, I'm sorry, but not so sorry. I I think sometimes movie stars like to just be in the lights, so to speak, and they like to be out there. And good news, bad news, as long as they out there putting out content, that's what it's all about, staying relevant.
Right.
Yeah, I get that. I get that 1,000%. You know, 'cause it's like you said, staying relevant, making sure that somebody knows what's going on in their lives. And so
Yeah,
I get
don't
that
forget,
1,000%.
don't forget me, don't forget me. I'm still here.
Right.
I need that record. I need that record movie deal. Okay, I'm
So
drama.
they
I'm drama. I can't be drama free. I gotta be drama, so I get a show.
So they will create stuff. Yeah, you're absolutely right. All right. Okay. So here we are. We're gonna move on to the next story. We're gonna let Raven go. Raven girl, work it out.
Work it out.
Story's a little old. Work it out, sis. Work it out. We're moving on. You know what? This is a story where I was only halfway interested in it, but I just say, put it out there. Just found it a little bit intriguing. The whole thing here, if I can get my computer to move, there it is. After cashing in 13,000 Massachusetts lottery tickets, father and sons are now accused of $21 million fraud. And we're going to give a shout out to AskLive.com and NEWSBREAK for this story.
Well,
let me give y'all a little bit of backstory. It said in 2019, Ali Jafar was the top individual lottery ticket casher for Massachusetts, but according to the federal court documents, his luck might have run out. Ali Jafar's age 62 sons, Muhammad Jafar, age 30, and Yusuf Jafar, age 28, are now accused of committing fraud after cashing in roughly 13,000 Massachusetts lottery tickets valued at nearly $21 million. Okay, the father and sons were indicted in Massachusetts federal court, and one count of conspiracy. Get the word out, Tanya. One count of conspiracy to defraud the Internal Revenue Service, and one count of conspiracy to commit money laundering, and multiple counts of filing false tax returns. What do y'all think is getting ready to go down?
You can't be
Fair time.
Look, you can't be bald one day and have a wig on the next. Like, could he just
he said
together, like just slow, like at least try to fool somebody. You know what I'm saying? What?
Right. I feel like people do too much. I mean, I feel like if you're gonna do a little bit of fraud, do a little bit of fraud. If that's what you
do. Like a sprinkle of fraud. Like a sprinkle of fraud.
I mean, he should have spread the fraud with the family, you know what I'm saying? With the family. Give Uncle Ray some, that friend who always begged you for money, let him win a little ticket,
Right. He should have been taking him and his son should listen.
Shannon, what you say?
Do not commit this.
Shannon, what you say? You said, look, Shannon, you said just sprinkle it just a little bit, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
It just seems like they got really super greedy in there.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is when you get super greedy like that, somebody is going to rat you out. Somewhere, somebody said, I'm not getting something. And so therefore,
the IRS always finds out.
Like I say, it's cousin Ray told.
Yes, his cousin Ray was somebody.
But it is a red flag when the same person over and over and over again. IRS. It's just like my bank. You have some of these things that you buy online, and what happened is they'll have an upsell. But with me, one of my upsell was $30. My bank was like, what the hell going on? So they instantly stopped my account, closed my account and everything. And it was me. I just was buying upsells. So that's just like the IRS. When they see an aberration like that the same person, and they got AI, right? AI probably
AI. They've been having AI since Atari. Like they obviously didn't do their research. So these some young cats.
Look, the AI got them. I'll tell you, the AI got them.
They must be some young cats. They didn't do their research.
Well, the dad was like 62, and then he had a 30-year-old and a 28-year-old. But look, they did try to do a trickle. They didn't trickle too hard. Now, between 2011 and 2019, Ali Jafar, Watertown, cashed in more than 10,000 lottery tickets worth at least $600 in a total of $15 million. That's what the court documents are stating.
And they have said they got caught.
Yeah, so they were been hot for a while. It looks like because it says here also, Muhammad, one of the sons, cashed in about 2,500 lottery tickets between 2012 and 2019, a total of 3.3 million, and the other son cashed in 1,360 lottery tickets in 2013 to 2019, total of 2.5 million. So they were running an operation, and then they got greedy.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do their research.
Nah, they felt that's that ego. That's that ego.
That's what you call money terrorism.
They didn't watch some documentaries. They thought they can do it, but they didn't do their homework. You did the same I did back in '72. Did you watch my tapes? Like, bruh.
Did you watch them? They're public now. Did you watch them?
Hey, I pretty much gave you. You know what? Let me shut up and live my life. Hey, y'all want a drink? Ooh, go ahead.
Right. Yeah, I see Charles Jefferson in the comments says, "What a family! Let's call this fraud deception." Yeah, some fraud deception. And everybody else that's in the comments there, hello to y'all too. You know, I'll have Shannon look at the comments a little bit later on. But for now, I just wanted, since it was relevant to the story, I wanted to just acknowledge what Charles said. I think these cats are getting ready to see the insides of some walls for just a little
somebody's about to see their insides, but
Shannon, one more drink. You cut off the bar.
Somebody got to pull out the hook. Shannon is loose. The element rose has just rised again.
Man.
Somebody gonna see the inside of their walls.
Somebody gonna see the inside of something. We're gonna figure out who later.
More the boy said, "What the French toast?"
Boy, goddamn. I can't do it. I'm leaving.
I think we better go to the next subject. I think we better go to the next subject. Just getting wild.
We're gonna go ahead and abandon ship.
Yeah. This ship about to sink fast.
It ain't abandoned ship. It's abandoned Shannon. Rickisms.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna take y'all down for just a few moments.
Oh, no.
Because this is a sad story, but it's a very important story. It's hurt my heart when I read this, but it's bittersweet. 2-month-old baby survives for days on top of dead mom's body.
What?
By chewing on their own hand. Apparently, without reading too far into, I'll go ahead and just give you a little bit of reading and tell you what it is. A 2-month-old baby survived for several days by chewing on his own fingers as he lay upon the body of his deceased mother. The boy's grandmother was called on August 18th to identify her daughter's body. When a woman arrived on the scene, she was told that her daughter had passed, but the grandson was alive and lying on top of her body. The last time she saw her daughter, Danielle, alive, the woman said her and her kids were at her house, and they went to school and had to say, we had a good day. Friday the 13th was funny. And she lay there decomposing for days with the little baby, the newborn, laying on top of her. And that baby, while she was in that apartment decomposing, he ate his own hand raw in order to survive. The baby's name is Drayshawn. And he's recovering in the hospital right now from dehydration and injuries sustained to his hand. And he's expected to make a full recovery. But that's a lot.
The infections, the bacteria too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be a full. I hope it is a full.
Graceful.
And
Right.
and that happened on my birthday. Man.
Oh,
Thanks,
that's
Tanya.
just really.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, but actually, you have to look at it this side. He did survive. It's a
Right.
bittersweet story. He did survive. The mother, apparently, as I read the article further, I see that she died of an overdose.
Okay.
And yeah, and
She arrested herself.
So there's
Yeah.
not really no good sides to end this story, but the
Right.
survival part,
the
right?
survival of the baby. Yeah. And
And
to me, that's why I brought the story, is because it still showed the miraculous side of the baby still surviving the whole thing and living through that whole thing for days. And just goes to show that, the baby was dehydrated. It didn't have anything to drink or anything, but just survived on its own hand.
It's going to be probably amazing. I would like to follow this child because that
Mhm.
child has such a strong instinct of survival, and to go through
Right.
something like that, if he takes that the right way, that dude could be the president of the United States because
Right.
he been through hell like from the get-go. But on
Right.
the other side, he might be in therapy for the rest of his life.
Right. That
I
is
think
really
that's
so
gonna
sad.
mess with him for a very long time.
Right.
I mean, I've seen tragedies. People take tragedies and build on it and make movements and stuff,
Mhm.
But then you have, it just depends on that person's personality and their character and something in them. Because every tragedy don't lead to another tragedy. Sometimes tragedies learn to like victories,
right.
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 So you never
And
know.
that actually was a victory. I guess we can really look at it that way. That baby could have been another casualty, and that
Could've been
baby
us.
survived.
We could have been those babies.
Yeah.
We could have been those
So-
babies. So it's like a sense of gratitude, you know what I'm saying, that we are here. We made it this far. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
You never know what he might become. He might become
Right.
the greatest Hyundai. He could be another Malcolm. Martin Luther King. He could be anybody.
Exactly.
Just because you have a bad start, don't mean you have a bad finish.
Exactly.
Right. And I tell you what, Bernard, remind me to send it to you. I'll send it to you. And shout out to lawrencepost.com for that article and NEWSBREAK as well. And I'll make sure I forward that over to you in case you're able to follow that story of the baby and find out what happens with it.
Yeah. Do they have like a fund or something set up, a gold fund or anything up for this child, a college fund or something?
Right. I didn't see anything so far. Maybe by now, because that article, I think I called it maybe a couple days ago. So as people have learned about it, it's possible that other folks are pitching in. That is quite possible. That
Let me know. Let me know. I want to donate to that. Let me know.
That's a special. That's a very special situation.
I mean, I'm a father. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you're talking about a child going through something like that, it hurts to the core. But it's also on the other side. You're so blessed that, first of all, you didn't go through that. Your kid never went through that. And any of those things, any of us could have been in that same situation. Because as a child, you have absolutely no control at that age.
Right.
That's right. And so that's sad, But let me bring y'all back up again. Woo! This is a bit of a crazy story here.
Man.
This is crazy. This is a story. Yeah. Well, I have to ask you on this next one. It's just more of a what would you do type situation. Shout out to Newsweek for this story and NEWSBREAK for bringing it to me also. I'm going to read the title. Bride sends $240 invoice to no-show wedding guest, prompting violence.
Whoa. Wait a second. What? We doing some new things.
You said, girl, not even playing. You know how much I paid for this wedding?
You know what? That's
Yeah.
Hold on, was this
Okay,
wedding contractual with the guests?
What's the whole
Let me go
story?
ahead and read a little bit to you. Okay. An invoice was sent from a newlywed bride and groom to the no-show guests that has Twitter users fiercely divided over the wedding etiquette. While countless people have called the move petty, others argue that the bill was a valid tactic for handling the situation. The post has gone viral on the app, racking up over 7,900 likes and 3,800 replies in the matters of days. The now image is the latest stance of social media users taking impassioned stances on the do's and don'ts of wedding ceremonies. Early in the week, for example, the bridesmaid claimed that she was kicked out of a wedding after cutting her hair, sparking a widespread conversation on Reddit. So these people are like super serious about what's going on with these weddings. So let me give you a little bit more details on the event in question.
That's funny. That's
A wedding reception at the Royalton Negril, which is a resort in Negril, Jamaica, as well as stating the reason for the bill. No, the reason she put on the bill: no call, no show guests, and it goes on the list. The unit price of $120 per wedding reception dinner, and since there were 2 guests, there's a total of $240. And this was sent out on August 18th, and it gives the guests a 1-month deadline to pay the amount.
Again, another issue. Wow! Oh my! Wow.
That's funny.
Well, I mean, I've never been married, so I can't really, put my opinion out there on that. But
Yes, you can.
He said, "Do not play."
Okay, I got stood up about
The whole conversation about Oklahoma.
No. You're not going to put a bill on me that's not even contractual. I didn't show up for whatever reason. You're going to bill me, and it's where did I sign? Where did I sign up for this?
that's where I was going with it. Is
Right.
if there's
No.
no contract, it's hard to sue somebody over something like that.
Contracts keep people honest.
And
No
RSVPs are not contracts.
Right.
Right. I
Ain't no
agree.
clause, ain't nothing.
I
ain't
think
no
that there's
clause.
also, there's another factor here. It's like if this was in the Grill Jamaica, what else were you paying for? Were you somehow involved in these people's transportation? Because you would have to be involved in my transportation and my lodging in order to send me a bill. Now, if you took care of my transportation and my lodging and I did not show up, oh yeah, you can bill me. But if I'm footing the bill to get to Jamaica and I don't live there already, then what you doing? That's the way I see it.
I mean,
Being petty. She just being petty. That's what they're doing, being totally petty.
nah, she ain't being petty. She's being financially manipulative. Period. You know what I'm saying? You tell me what I got to do with my money based on
They
what you
just didn't like her. They just didn't like her. That's all to that.
And that's the reason. That's probably the reason why, because you does stuff like this.
You know.
Also, why is it $120?
This is why we don't invite you out anymore, girl.
Yeah, girl. You thought we was gonna come to your wedding? We don't like your fiance anyway.
Probably the first one. Dining and dashing.
We told you not to marry this girl, and now you want us to be there? No.
Well, sorry, what were you saying just now?
What is $120 worth of a plate of food?
That's steak. That's surf and turf. That's what you call surf and turf. That's where you get the lobster, and you get the
all that crap that I don't
steak.
eat. Okay.
And and you get like a bottle of Moet. You know.
But how much was my plane ticket and my lodging to get there?
Only about 1,500, probably 1,000, maybe 1,000 round trip. Yeah.
So, okay, I'm coming out. Even if I decided to pay you, I'm still coming out ahead because I saved my money and didn't pay that money for the plane and for the lodging.
But you missed the point. It's not about the money you spend. It's all about me.
Right.
It's all about me. That's what that is
Right.
all about.
My day.
What money came
my
out in
day.
my pocket? I'm missing them Benjamins,
Mhm.
and I want you to pay for it. That's what that about. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And, you know,
Now, did she pay? Now, did she pay for the tickets?
they ain't say nothing about that.
It doesn't look like right, because I'm not seeing any of that as I go in here. I'm not seeing anything that she handled any of the launching, none of that. Tickets of anything, none of that.
Let me ask: did they
So,
get married? Did they get married? Did they get married? Did they
And
get
the
married?
marriage go through.
yeah, they did get married.
Okay, that's all they need. That's all
And
they need.
one
That's
person
it.
said this is,
That
you know,
she
there are
leaving,
some
leaving
people
that clue.
really,
It was all about the marriage. It shouldn't be about the people who
yeah,
came
but some
there.
people get,
Yup. Yup.
they get
Yep.
really hung up in the ceremony. It is,
And
that's when you get all your bridezillas and groomzillas and
Yeah,
things like that from, because they get caught up in that day. That's
yeah.
their day.
then get
And
the
I guess I just never been.
I mean, this is just
So,
bougie and materialistic. This is bougie and materialistic. That's all into that.
mm.
You know,
So,
call a
right.
spade a spade.
so like you paying basically you just paying to have a show. You mad that no
Exactly.
one showed up? You know what I'm saying? Because in those expensive ass weddings, 9 times out of 10 they divorce in like minimum like 2 months or so. So like people not gonna want to
right.
bear witness no fakery. And on top of that, that's why a
No.
lot of people just go to the courts. That's why a lot of people just go to the courts and just let it be. You know what I'm saying? Me and Mario, for prime example, we didn't invest on no showboating. We invested in each other, not with the hopes and wishes that everybody's going to show up and invest our energy in that. We just keep it simple and keep it moving. But now people want to keep it like they want to keep it expensive and like, man, get on all that. Live your life.
Right.
I got a
And I
perfect
think,
song for this. I got a perfect song for this. Perfect song.
what's the song? What's the song?
Nah, 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 nah.
Um,
Nah, 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 nah. Hey,
Hey,
goodbye.
child.
Yeah, because it's petty. I like I say as what Tom Petty, Petticoat Junction, Petty Cash, Petty.
Petty cash.
she said Tom Petty.
Dom Petty. How you get to Dom
No,
Petty?
Tom Petty the heartbreaker, but Tom Petty the pocket.
Petticoat
Tom
Junction.
I think that was a little bit scratch on that one. That was a little scratch.
I just hear the word petty in every kind of way. I'm sorry.
Petty cash, petty coat.
Petty Cash.
Petty. Petty cash.
So I'm done. Okay. So we are moving on. We are really flying through these stories tonight. This is wonderful. Eh. Now this is
Ask and you shall receive.
yeah, because we didn't get to a lot of stuff last week. Now, here is another one. This is really one of those things that what would you do kind of sort of thing. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but a woman got asked out by a guy who bullied her as a kid. So she stood him up with this awesome note. So let me go ahead and read this note to you. All right. She said her photos, how she looked then, I guess how she looked now. She's feeling I'm all bad and everything. Now I'm that. So she said, hey, whatever then his name was.
Sir.
Yeah.
Oh no, he doesn't earn the sir yet.
Sir with no love.
Hello, boy.
Right. So sorry I can't join you tonight. Remember year 8 when I was fat and you made fun of my weight? No, I do. I spent the following 3 years eating less than an apple a day. So I decided to skip dinner. Remember the monobrow you mocked? The hairy legs you were disgusted by? Remember how every day for 3 years you and your friends called me man beast? No, perhaps you don't, or you wouldn't have seen how I look 8 years later and deem me effable enough to treat me like a human being. I thought I'd send you this as a reminder. Next time you think of me, picture that girl in this photo because she's the one who just stood you up, Louisa.
I'm so down for
Wait,
this.
so
You know, I think
Good for her. Good for her.
we made her what she was today. She should be
Wow.
grateful for it.
Oh,
She should be grateful for it.
You're
You know what
misogyny.
they say?
honestly,
If it
Bernard,
don't kill you, make you strong. You never heard that before?
I can attest to that, Bernard. I can attest to that.
I mean,
But
sometimes
hold
my haters.
on, but wait. Now, how old was she? How old was she?
You know,
Year
you know,
8.
if
Year
right.
8.
You're 8 in
So
school, so
Okay.
like, isn't that equivalent to
that
8th grade
was
here?
like
I think 13.
right.
Yeah, that's like
And then she
13,
said 8 years
14.
later, right? So I'm like,
So some people
that's a lot
don't
going
heal.
on there.
That was in grade school?
Well, some people don't heal. Some
Yeah.
people don't know how to heal, and they hold on to things and can't wait to take revenge on certain individuals. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you have to remember, the dude should remember, like, yo, you used to like go. I used to go at her like, you know what I'm saying, bad. So it's like any kind of like apology or realization in that conversation before the agreement to the date. You know what I'm saying? And if there was like a grown folk understanding and accepting the apologies, and you still took it that far, to me, that's like, that's poor on her part as well, because we've all done some things to somebody at some point, some less, some more than others. But to hold on that grudge and to give what was done to you, and that can come back tenfold, because that is your opportunity to grow from that and be stronger than that. So that doesn't even, it's nothing.
She grew.
You know what I'm saying?
She
So, yeah.
accepted
No,
the
she
date
didn't grow. She
and
grew all right.
allowed him to go get
smaller.
food while she went and took care of
grew
her
all
business.
She got smaller.
She was big. Look, she was big then, and she's even bigger now. And that's all the weight that she needs to realize, instead of like, you know,
Well,
taking
she's
it.
got a lot more growing to do, in my opinion.
Right.
She might have done some growing, but you got a lot more growing to do when you can hold a grudge for that long. Let's get my smile on.
See, I don't see it as a grudge.
There you go.
Yeah.
What do you see it is? Tell us what.
There's a high possibility. There's a high possibility that they went to different schools and they hadn't seen each other for 8 years. Now, being put in that situation where you have that type of trauma inflicted by someone else, you're going to remember them more than they're going to remember you. So there's a high possibility that she looks completely different, and he might not have remembered her, but she sure is.
Say, wouldn't that be something? Right? Wouldn't that be something like, oh, I don't remember that girl at all. When did she went through all that? And she stressed for years on that.
That could have.
If you're someone so shitty that you cause someone to have an eating disorder, they can go fuck themselves.
And we're past 20. Good for you.
But you know something.
You know, your haters are never gonna remember you. I mean, it's just like it's like a one night stand. I had a phone call, a Facebook
Listen,
call.
I thought.
And, you know,
he said,
I didn't remember them.
You had a one night stand and you did not remember them.
I remember
them. I remember them.
Lots.
But they remember me.
Yeah, but we're not talking about two people that connected and had some fun. We're talking about someone who manipulated and abused a child, even if they were one. No.
Well, the abuser was abused too. The abuser was abused. Hurt people.
You really, a lot of times you really don't know about what the abuser is coming from, because a lot of them coming from broken homes, they're coming from abused situations. A lot of times you have the predator was the victim before he became a predator. So there's a cycle going there long. Normally there's a cycle. And I think if you just let it go and go on about your life, then you can stop the cycle right there. But they
no telling who she made fun of. Ain't no telling who she did that way. That part is always left out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
that's a tough call for me, because the reason why I'm saying is that I do understand that there is like this whole revenge set, but that's a lot to concentrate on someone for 8 years.
8 years.
That's a lot of focus on someone for 8 years. And
Oh,
I really hope that she can. I hope she can let it go.
she did
But-
get his
Let it go.
But it's not unusual. People have issues
that's
from
good.
childhood all the time. That's why half of the people, majority of the people, are in therapy because of childhood issues.
Mm.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
understand that.
Now she
Because I
looks
think we
now.
all have had a thing, where we've had something going on that because kids in school are cruel.
Yes, they are.
So they are very cruel. And so I think that we all have endured something somewhere, but I can't think of a time in life where I held on that kind of long for vengeance for
Mhm.
someone.
Well,
Maybe
there's
think
this
of
girl
certain
I
people
dated.
right
This
now.
girl named I ain't gonna mention her name, but
Success.
Wait a
Look,
minute.
success, and accomplishment and growth won't let you do that. Straight up.
I think
I
honestly,
don't believe it'll let you do that. It is your pettiness that
Yeah.
will allow that'll make you or give you an avenue to do that. So you can look good. You can get older and look good to get back at somebody. But do you feel good? Are you good here? You just look good, but are you good here? There's a difference. You're putting more effort on your physical, but not
Right.
giving people any insight on how much they've grown. But they've spent more time in harnessing all this old luggage and all of these old things that's not doing them any service. So like it's like what do you think he's going like? It's like what do you think he's going to do? Like okay, all right.
no big deal. No big deal.
But it's not about him. It's closure for her. That's not closing a chapter for her, though.
It's closure for her, but she's putting up karma for
For the
herself.
moment.
So that's a discussion. Go ahead.
Shannon, I'm really trying to break into this story that you sent me, but it's
not
not
opening?
coming up properly. It's not opening properly. I'm going to see if I'm going to give it some time to see if it does open. And while I go to another story, I'm going to give it some time.
Veronica in the house.
Rock!
I'll find it somewhere else.
Vivacious is in the house.
Vivacious.
Comments. Can somebody check the comments while we try to work out this particular story that Shannon just sent me? Rick, grab the comments, sweetie.
All right. Let's see here. My phone on some turtle speed. Bear with me.
Okie dokie.
All right. So I'm gonna start off with let's see. I'm gonna go with Charles Jefferson. Well, we're going back with the fraud and whatnot. Yeah, Charles Jefferson said, "Well, pops, you don't say ouch." Charles Jefferson, hello, it's me. I thought about us. Oh, hey, Charles, it's me. I thought about us for a long, long time. Charles again, hi, Tanya, looking good. As if we don't know. Chill out. Call him Chill Out Charles.
Chill out, child.
You know what I'm saying? Right on, brother.
Hey, Charles.
That's it.
But I can't seem to pull that story, and I'm really trying. Oh, you sent it again?
Yeah, I sent it in a different link.
Okay, let's see if it does come up. Okay. All right, I'm gonna read it in a few minutes. But I'm gonna go real quick to our next story. While we're going on here, y'all, we're getting down to it. We're getting down to R. Kelly. So y'all get
how'd your kids? Rick, shut up.
Say how'd your kids, how'd your wife? Well, you know what? I got a couple of stories here. Let's see which one I want to go with first. There's actually a couple here where R. Kelly flipped out.
Wait, I got it. Depends on how old your wife was. Sorry, I wasn't over here. I couldn't say it on time, but depends on how old your wife is. Continue.
Check, please.
Right.
No.
You're right.
Check, please.
You're right about that. R. Kelly flipped out over male tour guide at Disney. This is what an employee testified. Okay, this story is with AJC here in Atlanta. Hey, AJC.com. Give credit to them. Not only was R. Kelly someone who controlled women's every movement when on his property, he was also a nightmare boss who fined workers for minor mistakes This is what a former employee testified on Thursday. Now, Tom Arnold, who officially worked as the Sex Me Star studio manager from 2004 to 2011, told the jurors about Kelly's system of docking pay when employees messed up and how it ultimately made him quit his job. The final straw came in October 2011. Arnold testified when Kelly fined him a full week's salary for booking a male tour guide at Disney World. What the hell was he doing at Disney World? I
Control.
Okay, let me go for it.
About that, you know that.
He said it needed to. He said that the final straw was when he fined him a full week's salary for booking a male tour guide at Disney World. He said it needed to be a woman. Arnold said on the stand at the Brooklyn Federal Court. Yeah, he said the Disney World trip came together at the last minute, so he had to scramble to book a tour guide. He said I took the first person I could get. It was a gentleman. And he said when Kelly's tour bus arrived at the most magical place on earth, and he saw that male tour guide, he canceled the whole VIP experience. This is what Arnold said. And he said Kelly docked him $1,500, giving him his check for the week at $0.
Wow.
He said, my wife wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. Rob wasn't happy. And he said, explaining the decision to leave the boss that he'd known since 1998.
Oh, whoa, wait. So you're not, when you're not catering to someone's illness or sickness, you become a person of power.
Right.
That's no surprise. You're not catering to someone's sickness and in agreement with that. It's to be expected. So it's like now that's like giving us game. First and foremost, not to be involved with something like that anyway. Why is this a surprise? All this other stuff is coming out, and then this is going on, and you wouldn't think for the life of you to keep up with it.
He's gonna try it on you.
Right. Shannon, leave the building. Everybody leave. You don't study people, and you still hanging around like he's not going to count you out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's on him. I'll say that's on him because he considers you fool with somebody like that. That's on him.
Right.
I'll write it with me.
I'm going to say this also. A lot of these people who were around, they saw all these things for a lot of years. And they let a lot of things, go. And now it's time for the trial. And they're speaking, but it was always bad. It was always wrong. It was always bad.
But also think about the kind of mind that knows that he has people around that he can manipulate. When you're an employee, you're looking at people and you're looking at certain characteristics. So when R. Kelly was very careful for many years to hire the right type of people so he can manipulate. So, I hate to say there's a degree of definitely intelligence there used for the wrong reason, but to get away as long as he did, as bad as the Black community already had knew this was the truth and was happening, it amazed me that it didn't happen 10, 15 years ago.
But also, there's a thing too, Pop Rock. He found some people that he thought.
You said Pop Rock.
Yeah.
Don't do no rock, man. Don't do no rock. No crack over here, baby.
Yeah, look here. No, but it's also like people that he thought that he couldn't manipulate. A lot of these people, I believe, are very aware and conscious of what's going on, but because they see them commas and them checks, they're going to give him the impression that they are, monkey see, monkey do. Hear no evil, see no evil. You know what I'm saying? tell no, you know what I'm saying, tell no truth. So that goes in so many ways, but they still made a conscious decision at some point, whether you weak-minded or not, you know wrong is wrong, but they still made a conscious decision to stick around for those comments. You know what I'm saying? Until the judge put a period on their life. Rick, shut up.
Wow.
Come on.
I got
You know,
you.
they get what they get. You know, I really don't have any sympathy for none of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
They
I don't-
all, it is, you're talking about conspiracy. That's conspiracies because every young lady out there.
That's not conspiracy. That's outright just nasty.
Is that a word? I'm
Why?
It is at
The living room.
with my
It's a
class.
living room word. Okay. It's a living room word. My bad. Rick, I stand corrected. Your Highness, your living room word stands. We just won't be playing Monopoly with each other, no doubt.
Oh my gosh. But you know what? I'm not done with R. Kelly yet. I got one more story.
He ain't done with the.
What ain't done with him neither.
Oh. Okay, let me go ahead to this other story now.
He ain't done with Celebration Station either. Rick, shut up.
Celebration Station.
Well, let's see if I can get back up to the top of this arc. Okay. I don't know. I don't think it's the same assistant. It says R. Kelly's former assistant testifies it was almost like a Twilight Zone. You went into the gate and it was like a different world. It was a strange place. This is what Anthony Navarro said. R. Kelly's former assistant testified during the singer's racketeering trial in the Eastern District of New York courthouse in Brooklyn on Friday, August 20th, detailing his bizarre experience of being under Kelly's employment. Anthony Navarro has worked with other artists, including Jay-Z, Kanye West, and Taylor Swift, and now owns his own recording studio. Said that no other employment experience was quite like working for Kelly. He said it was a weird time for me. The things you had to do were just a bit uncomfortable. A bit, okay. It was almost like a Twilight Zone. You went into the gate and it was like a different world. I just said it just now the same pool.
Yeah.
During his testimony, Navarro appeared nervous, fidgeting with his face mask held in his hand and often taking long pauses before delivering responses. He went on to say during cross-examination by defense attorney Nicole Blank-Becker that he witnessed Kelly verbally abusing employees. While Navarro never told prosecutors my screen changed. Never told prosecutors about the abuse in previous meetings with the government. The memories resurfaced during his testimony. After his time working with Kelly, Navarro filed a lawsuit against the singer on the basis of unpaid overtime wages. And he also said that Kelly fined him for breaking a rule that Navarro referred to as something stupid that didn't make any sense. You know what? This story is just not holding any weight. This sounds like somebody who's trying to get in on the situation, but he ain't giving us no real thing. Let me look a little further here. Navarro confirmed that he was told that the famed songwriter could not read. He wasn't sure about his writing abilities. Throughout their cross-examination, defense was determined to prove Kelly was not withholding food or access to bathroom from the guests and was not holding them against their will. Becker asked Navarro about the number of bathrooms and stock fridges throughout Kelly's Olympia Fields mansion and basement studio.
Bernard, put the wine glass down.
Okay. So while monitoring the security cameras, Navarro testified of seeing two females jumping the gate at Kelly's home, who Navarro said looked really young, like middle-aged teenagers. And he went on to outline some of the rules Kelly set, including no talking with female guests. Navarro said that, moved again.
That's no different than you couldn't even, go ahead.
Navarro said that he once transported a girlfriend of Kelly from Alabama to Georgia and did not speak to her during the drive, which lasted over 3 hours.
What?
Yeah, it's to me, let's just put it this way. there's a whole lot of people out there who have real evidence of things that have been done. I really
Right.
feel like when it came to that story right there and that testimony, that's a little on the weak side. You know, we
He
know
didn't
that
want to
some
be let out.
real
He didn't want to be let out of the picture. You know, it's like, oh, everybody getting their day in the sunshine. I want my day in the sunshine. I know some dirt on R. Kelly. I know that
right,
he stepped on ants and stuff like that. And he took butterfly wings off their body, and he took money out of the tire plate and stuff like that. He tried to get his
right,
little sunshine in there, but that ain't even
yeah,
dirt. That's more like
right.
dust.
Yes, that was dust. Because that man has done a barrage of things, and you got to come stronger than that. Matter of fact, the next story that I'm about to share, the one that Shannon sent to me, is a heck of a lot stronger than that. All right.
That just popped up, like just while we were talking.
Really? Well, I tell
Yeah.
you what, I had to pour another drink to talk about Tommy. Oh, Jesus, Joseph Mary. If you all watch
Tommy ain't got no job.
Love and Hip
Oh,
Hop Atlanta, not that topic.
okay,
But
okay,
if you
okay.
all watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, there was a young lady on there for a little while. They called herself Tommy Lee, and she has quite an extensive track record history dealing with legal issues and fighting law. So once again, she is involved in something that happened. Now, this one is a little on the sad side. I have heard of her having some disagreements and even altercations with her own kids, but this is yet another situation that became public, and
Mm-hmm.
she's coming back and telling AtlantaBlackStar.com, which we'll give the shout out to, that the altercation that happened between her and her middle aide at a middle school here in Georgia, it wasn't like that at all. Okay, let me go ahead and give y'all a little story. Tommy Lee is given the details on what caused her to have a physical with her daughter when she visited her school last year. At the time, Lee went to her 11-year-old middle school and wound up arrested in October 2018 and charged with a felony aggravated assault, simple first-degree child cruelty, and disruption of public schools. The charges came after the hip Atlanta star allegedly shoved her daughter's head into a locker at Griffin Middle School, down the road from me, damn, which is in Atlanta suburbs of Smyrna, Georgia. The indictment also revealed that before the supposed locker bashing incident, Lee supposedly stormed into her child's classroom, slapped her hands with a purse strap, and hit her in the face before
Wow.
allegedly bashing the child's head into the lockers. Lee grabbed her daughter's hair and dragged her. Lee, who ended up arrested again for violating a court order upon her initial release from prison that month, faced up 54 years behind bars. In May, it was reported that she avoided going to jail after pleading guilty to the 5 charges, including first-degree cruelty to children. Now, TMZ reported that she'll complete a private recovery program and a year of successful aftercare with licensed doctors. Afterwards, she'll be on probation for the duration of her 10-year sentence. Now,
Jesus.
she is saying the whole situation was on me, you know. And I'm like, it took a toll on your daughter too. But she was
Right.
saying the whole situation really took a toll on me. You know how the reports go. It was a lot put on that, and it wasn't like that at all. She explains about the July 15th edition of the Breakfast Club. She went on talking about it. Her daughter took edibles to school. Wow. And she got a charge from that, and all the kids ate them. And basically, they called me, and all the kids were rushed to the hospital. I remember hearing about this on the news. I did hear about this on the news. The kids with edibles. I didn't know that Tommy Lee was involved at that time. Okay, now I know. I was arrested when I was 15 years old as a runaway, and that's how I started my record. She explains further. It really hindered my life. I didn't think it was going to be a charge against my daughter at first because everybody was okay. But then I got a letter in the mail saying that she was being charged. And Lee said that she lawyered up, emphasized to her daughter, who Lee said is a lifelong honor roll student, the importance of behaving in class. I'm sorry. She said peer pressure of her daughter wanting to gain popularity impacted the child. Y'all, I'm not going further than that because it's just we have seen the shenanigans. If you're familiar with Tommy, it's been a while that's been a lot going on with her.
Yeah, cloud chasing even in the hallways of the news.
You know,
Man.
So what do you all think about that before we go on to our main for tonight with Miss Tommy Lee child?
I think I think it's really strange because, like, okay, so I come from more of like a rural town, you know, so like disciplining children is
different.
Not the most, yeah. It's a little different. It's a little different down where nobody can hear things very well from certain miles, you know.
Okay.
So, but I just think it's a really weird thing to show up to your, not only that, but to have this be like a normal behavior between you and your children, that you literally have to explain yourself to the point that it wasn't like, oh, it wasn't like that. Oh, she did this. So that justifies me coming out of my skin and becoming the immature, putting myself in the immature position, being the immature party, as opposed to like, you could have pulled her from school that day. Y'all could have had a whole thing. You could have grounded her. Like it could have been a whole nother discussion, but now you've added onto your record because you have apparently have a long history of not being able to have any type of anger control, or being able to.
Bernard, is that you? Who is that? Please turn that off.
Subdue any type of like reactionary impulses or anything like that. And I think that when it comes to situations like this, it not only does it take the fact that you need to look at the parent to be like, oh, you're responsible for this situation, but you also need to look at the damage that they had as well, and why their behavior, that they deem this behavior to be acceptable. I can't tell you how many times in Walmart back home I've seen somebody snatch a whole 4-year-old up just by their arm right here, and you think, oh my God, you're gonna pop their elbow out of socket, you're gonna pop their arm out of socket, but that's just like, it's that reactionary thing, man. And like you, and I'm not a parent, so I can't speak full-heartedly, but I mean, like, is there not a part of you that stops and thinks, like, because I'm gonna be real with you, like when I was in high school, me and my mom had some rounds, okay? But there's some times when like I'd never hit my mom directly, like especially like in the face, and there's always that point where I'd get in fights with her, and you know, we'd go up and I'd go to throw a hand back, and then I'd realize this is my mom, like I can't hit her like that, you know? So as a parent, is there not something like that also stops you? That is like, this is my mom. This isn't some random in the streets that I can handle. This is my child.
I mean, the fact is that people really don't take parenthood that serious. They don't really try to study it. They don't really try to learn about how to be a good parent. Even if you have a bad role model, or you came from a dysfunctional situation, you know your situation was messed up. My thing was, when I was growing up, my parents used to argue and stuff all the time, and they disciplined us the way they disciplined them. But when I became an adult, I decided that whenever I did have a child, that I wasn't going to raise the child like I was raised, or I was going to take the good stuff and I was going to leave the stuff that I didn't think was so negative. But see, people are so easy to have kids. They'll have kids before they'll have kids before they get married. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They don't put no forethought on it at all. And you know, sweet honey iced tea gonna happen, okay? You're not gonna have the perfect child. I don't care who. I had a son. My son was good until he was about in the middle school. Then I didn't recognize the child no more until he got like a couple years old, and I had to beat him down one time. And then he got better. But I'm saying is that being a parent is a full-time job, and just like you study for a job, or you study for college, or you study for acting, or you sing a song, you practice to sing that song, you learn that song in and out, how to sing it. Well, you got to learn how to be a parent just that way. That's why, you know, I'm so adamant about, you know, putting out my book and Pop's Guide to help people like that, to give them like some options to just learn there's a better way of doing things. And just because you had a terrible relationship with your mom or your dad, don't mean you get to harm your child. You put your hands on your child. You know, there's something about spanking, and there's something about beating down. And there's a line there. And some people just simply don't know where the line at.
Right. You know something, I'll say this. I looked at this whole situation. Let me take it from another angle of having heard about it on the news and not knowing that she was involved. I remember hearing the story about a bunch of kids taking something. And I remember thinking at that time, what the heck was that about? And I don't really remember anything about the end of the story, what happened, but to hear that this young lady who has quite an extensive, I mean, she's got a rap sheet longer than my arm, that she had some involvement. You have to say to yourself, because you see her things that she has done for years, what kind of parenting is going on? Are they just trying to be like mommy? Remember I said last week, I said, sometimes when young women are younger, or young girls, the whole thing is, I got to be the bad bitch. I got to be the baddest bitch I can be, because that's what they feel is so hot. They feel like it's hot to the guys, it's hot to the image. And it sounds like that's what the young lady was doing. She wanted to be popular, so she took the edibles to school and she did something that she knew was wrong. So you have to ask yourself, is she heading down the same type of rabbit hole as mommy with the long rap sheet? And so I can't say anything. I'm only just asking that question. I can't judge Tommy Lee on whether her child is going to do that, but you just have to ask yourself, is this the start of something like that? You're muted, Bernard. You're muted, Bernard.
It's a strong possibility that she might go down that negative road. But like I've said earlier, that how people extrapolate information and how they break it down, what it means to them, what could be detrimental to me. Like I could come around, I could be like homeless, my family never had anything, we was poor, we had to eat government cheese and all that stuff. I could say to myself, no, that's not going to happen to me. You know, I can take that negative and flip the script and say, hey, I'm going to be the richest, I'm going to be the first millionaire in my family. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the odds are, though, atmosphere and conditions play a lot on who we become. And definitely the odds are definitely kind of stacked against her. I hope there's someone in her life, a teacher, a grandparent. Where the damn daddy at? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Someone who can like pull her up to the side and say, baby, that's not how we do things. And let me show you how we're supposed to do things. But, you know, I hope there's someone in her. That's the only thing. I hope there's someone in her life to make a change for her and make a big difference for her. Because right now, it don't look good.
It doesn't. You're absolutely right.
Just like you said, like, you know, to piggyback on that, like to even, you have to filter the good and the bad from parenting or being parented. because not everything works, the good and the bad, the good or the bad. You know, it can be gauged the same, because not every child, depending on their way of thinking, can appreciate the good that is given to them. Just like that, it goes in so many different directions. But you have to learn and study your child and see what they respond to positively. So it also depends on what you're giving and what is that you're exactly understanding about them, because they are crying out in certain avenues of themselves because they're still learning about themselves. But to respond on, or you did this, so I'm gonna do to you what my parents did. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the cycle just continues. It just continues, like, and it's not even necessary. So you thinking that you're breaking the cycle, you're just creating a whole nother chain. You're creating a whole nother bondage. And there's nothing good about a bondage. None at all. There's nothing good about a bondage. So
I think this whole topic is one of the reasons why I have chosen not to have any children yet.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people like that. A lot of people that feel that way.
I don't want to put anyone through what I went through, so it's much easier just to be like, yeah, no, I'm not going to have any of those.
And you know what? I used to think the same. I used to think the same way. I used to think the exact same way. But when I had my son, I said I was determined to be the best dad. I didn't care what my dad did, what my granddad, what society said. I raised my kid, and I looked at him, and I said, first of all, you're gonna make good grades. You're gonna be a good leader. You're gonna be a good citizen, and I'm gonna work with the education system as a team. Because when I used to talk to their parents, I would have said, we're both on Team Jeremiah. That's my son there. We're both on Team Jeremiah. I talked to the coaches. Look, if my son don't make good grades, he's coming out for this wrestling team. We all on Team Jeremiah, period. So what I did is, instead of being a combative area, I included my village and my tribe to help me raise my son, to reinforce all the good things, all the positive things, to give him morals, value, and to give him that, that I knew he was going to do it. I always looked at my son as I'm building a man. I'm building a man and a good citizen.
Right.
And then everything else fell in place.
That's something that I always said for years when I would watch people with their parenting, that they don't realize that they are raising someone for the world. They just didn't. I saw some people, they just were so aloof to the fact that they were raising someone in which everybody else in the world would have to deal with.
Yeah, it will affect everybody.
Right.
I mean, it's scary because you realize that you can have a good kid, but he could be in a classroom with a bad kid, and I don't believe in such thing as a bad kid, a kid that is in a dysfunctional state. And that kid end up killing your kid.
And they can be ace boom coons. And they can be ace boom coons.
Or that kid, or that bad kid, or that kid that didn't get that correct parenting could be jacking up your car, or robbing your house, or embezzling your millions of dollars in the bank, like them white, some people get, away with, and only get a couple years, 18 months in jail. But, I ain't gonna think about that.
Bernard almost went all the way.
They get those golf course experiences in prison.
Hey now, in the
We got
chat,
plenty of them
someone
in
mentioned
Florida
government
too.
Cheese. I missed that shit. That made the best grilled cheese sandwiches.
What's that? What'd you say?
In the chat, someone mentioned the government
cheese, baby.
Hey, yeah!
My neighbors had plenty of government cheese. We made too much money.
Hey, yo.
Okay, Shannon, you do me a favor.
Funny.
Can you hit that chat real quick before we go? Because we got to go to the living room. We got to get into the topic of the night.
I hate Tianna. I hate Tianna right now. Go ahead.
So Charles said, "Okay, Rigness, it's all good, my brother. Right on." Talking about when you was giving him stuff for telling Tanya she's so pretty. And he was like, "Charles, my brother." And so then we're talking about what's his name, the devil, And I said, Lord, the devil always gets his camera time, huh? And we were talking about laws for a minute, and Tianna said laws aren't for those with money. And we're talking about
Kind of.
a woman beating her child, and I was like, situations like this are so delicate. And Charles says, well, Pops, you don't say government cheese, and that's where Tianna came in.
Government,
All right.
and it's not government cheese. It's not government cheese.
It's government.
It's
government.
Government.
Stop saying government.
Like both of them. It's not both of them. It's both of them.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Both of
Don't hit the whole F. It both of them.
Both of them. Both of them.
Both of them.
Like I
Sorry,
said
so long since I
before,
had that cheese,
like I
I
said
lost it.
before, I'm not playing Monopoly with you, bro.
Okay, there we go. Who spiked the tea? Let's wrap it up. Who spiked the tea? Let's go on. We're going on to the living room. Hang on, y'all. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the living room. In the spirit of what Rick was saying just now, is not the living room, is living room. Okay, so we stand in the spirit of things. Living room. Where's the living room? Okay, that's how we do. That's how we
You
do.
ain't coming to my house.
Hey, we can do Scrabble.
You know, and I am in Georgia, and there's a different language here.
You in
So you know
Georgia.
that.
Georgia.
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 Yes, it's a totally different language here. So, okay, welcome to the living room. The topic for tonight is hustle or flow. Are you thriving or simply just surviving? Okay, let's break it down on this real quick. You know, let me give you all a few little things of what we mean when it comes to thriving and surviving. Thriving is characterized, and this is drellenalbertson.com article on which I was looking at on this particular thriving or surviving and thriving mode characterized by the psychologist Martin Seligman, refers to, you know, in his book Flourish. Positive emotions, engagement, and flow, positive relationships, meaning and accomplishment. But when we come to survive mode, that's characterized by choosing the path of least resistance, experiencing lack rather than abundance, reacting rather than responding, complaining and blaming others for your circumstances, feeling inauthentic and stuck, and fearing failure and viewing it as a sign that things are going wrong instead of seeing it as a necessary part of success. Failure is a part of success.
On that, it can be both.
Mm-hmm.
It can be both. You can't have dark without lightness. Without light.
Get out the fence, Rick. Get out the fence.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Right.
As far as thriving and surviving, we tend to do both. You know, to me, it's like a sense of balance. You gotta have one. You gotta have something that's going to be able to support another until you get to that success, and that's even success in itself. When you realize that you know, you have to survive, and you are surviving, you're still pushing through. You know, and you get to your slump at times, or you get to your valley, and you realize, like, I can't get no lower than this. That's not necessarily true all the time, but you do have a substantial amount of realization, like, you know, I don't want to go any lower than this. So how can I get to a certain point? You know, what can I do to surround myself with successful individuals or like-minded or positive individuals, you know, that'll help me grow? That's thriving and surviving. You know, people rely on a paycheck. Sometimes people rely other people, which is I've learned myself, like blaming, like, oh, I got this going on, and the reason why I'm not inspired because this person or that person. No, that ain't what that is. You got to take responsibility for your own inspiration.
Exactly.
Because a lot of times when people are like, when you give people when you give people sauce, they will run off with it all. This rapper, what's his name? Black, what's his name? BL6CK. He said you can't give people sauce. They'll take it and run off with it all. So when you give people a certain amount of credit in terms of your growth and inspiration, they'll be like waiting, like, yeah, Rick, hey man, remember, man, it was me that I was the reason why you got here.
Right.
Bernard, Tanya, I was the reason why you was at ACT TV. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like people come up with like all kinds of bullshit and rhetoric. That's the reason why you came upon your own success. I'm like, you wasn't here helping me mix these paints. You weren't here with me struggling trying to get these hues of colors off and make it make sense.
You weren't here while I was redoing this candy for the 3rd time before I even decided it was good enough to pass. You don't even know. How many layers of paint is on this canvas?
Look at Rick moving out the picture.
You know, you gotta be careful about balance, because you really don't have balance. I think it's more about priorities and setting the proper priorities, because when you're in business or when you're a father, if the house is on fire, it ain't talking about no balance. We got to go put the house out fire. We got to go.
I'm not waiting to call no 911.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put my house on fire, and you call the police or you call the firemen, and they come out here and get it done. But also in life too, even in relationships, sometimes the other relationship has priority because maybe they sick, or maybe they go in school, or maybe they have a business. So we gotta gather around them and support them. And the priority is daddy right now. Okay. Daddy's finished. Daddy's good. Now moms want to go back to school. Now the priority just switched over to mom, and mom's got okay, we got to cook now. We got to help clean now. We can't be bringing all her problems. You got to go take it over to dad because mama trying to get her homework done. You see what I'm saying? So I think people think when they look at life as being balanced, it's never going to be totally balanced. It's always going to be about what is the number one priority that you need to be focused on to get your life to the level that you want to go to. I think when people think balances, I think they're really thinking like you can balance out the world and you can juggle so many things like that. But in reality, you need to prioritize what's most important. Then you get down to the things are next in line. It's like doing that to-do list. You scratch out that first one, then you go down the list. But this nomenclature that people could think that we can do all this serious multitasking. You find out when people do a lot of multitasking, the productivity actually goes down. It doesn't go up.
Well, this is the thing. That's when that balance comes to play. And
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to come back on that in a minute, but go ahead.
also, what comes to play that the balance is very important. But in order to balance, you have to learn and know how to adapt. Yes, seeking what is more important.
Balance and adaptation. I don't think that's the same thing. I mean to adapt is to change to the given situation or the different stimulus that's going on. To balance, when you're talking about balance, you're talking about a pendulum type of situation where you got equal things on each side of the hand and they're balancing out. And I think in reality, in real life, things never totally balance out. It's just one has more priority than the other one, and you got to make sure that everybody's on the same accord as far as the family. The only balance I really see is when you're in a team or a relationship that you keep the main thing, and that is making the relationship grow or making a family grow or having a relationship be a positive relationship as much as possible.
Which is proof that balance exists.
That's not balanced, though.
Yeah. When you go ahead, what'd you say?
It is a balancing act. While one person is focusing on, taking care of part A, the rest of the family is taking care of B, C, D, E, F.
That's not balance, though. That's more to me. It's more priority, not balance.
Well, okay, tomato, whatever. Like balance. Like the man shouldn't be cooking. The woman should be cooking and handling the kids. Well, the man doesn't mind putting himself aside so the woman can handle her career and bring that back, and sharing the dues, figuring out what balance really is, and having an understanding, even an understanding. And you see how many hands are placed. That understanding, which is a balance. Balance plays a part in the growth of family. Family is it is teamwork. The only way things are anyway going to work out is if there's some form of an understanding or an accord. An accord is to me like another language of balance.
It's not accord. I mean, you say accord. I say priority.
Accord. Okay, priorities. You have to put priorities at a balance.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Why not?
No, you don't. No, you don't have to put priorities at a balance because what's important right now is important right now.
Is there only one priority in life?
Huh?
Is there only one priorities in life?
One priority outlays one's more important than the other one.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tanya.
I was just going to jump in here for just a few moments so that we can get all that straightened back out again. When it comes
ain't no straightening out.
Well, I mean, it's just different types of people, I think. Let's back up for a moment when you're saying about the multitasking. Yeah, the thing is, some people say jack of all trades, master of none, and I understand that perfectly. But when you have to become a multitasker, I'm a person, I can successfully do 6 things at one time and really make them all work. It's the problem in that for me, though, is when people see that you could do 6 things, they make you do 12 and 24. Right. And so that's the hard part for me. And so that means that you then, or the balancing act does become too much, and you're not successful. But I can do 6 things at one time successfully. And with that, I feel like if I had certain things, if I had less. If some people didn't see me as being that capable individual, I could feel like my thriving situation could be a little bit better. But sometimes I fall into a survival because of the other pressures that get put on. And I've told you all before, I'm a Libra, we balance, but I got that Aquarius moon, I'm the water bearer. So we try to take everything. Water is heavy, so we try to take on everything. Right. And that's what gets me into trouble. That's what pushes me to survival.
So go ahead. Yes.
Have you guys ever read the book?
You try to take on so many battles, and you're not even giving to yourself. There's an imbalancement. So you are no longer a priority. Yourself is no longer a priority. And then you wonder why you're weakened, you're getting headaches, migraines, losing sleep. You can't function well because things are not delegated properly. So how do you think that businesses run? They delegate certain duties to certain departments to make the business run, hence get revenue, get money, and keep it going, ongoing, with or without certain people, because you can include someone else, replace other people that's not willing to do what is necessary to keep the balance and keep the structure, and keep the ecosystem of love, residuals, whatever you want to call it. There's no such thing as a business running without a balance. That's why they have so many different departments. You can try to be every department that you want to, if you want to, but does it make it a good idea? And then wonder why you can't focus on the main thing, the core that keeps that family or that business alive. Letting people play their part, delegating the balance. You realize their talents in other areas that you are not so prominent in, and realizing that and being honest with that, and not being Superman or Superwoman. Hey, he or she can do this better than me. They can juggle this better than me. I'm gonna let them do this, so on and so on for that person. That way I can concentrate on dispersing funds to write out the checks at the right amount with the right signature for the right reason, because they're doing the job.
That well spoken. But you know that the number one priority of every corporation is to make money.
Well, I'm not just talking about money. I'm just using.
No, but you brought up the corporation, so I'm using. I use
that as an example, because like family businesses, they're almost similar. they in order for things to run well in the household, that's when that parenting and that's when that husband and wife or whatever that marriage, you come together on a balance, on an accord to delegate what needs to be done in a household. That's why there's chores. That's why husband and wife work, or however they delegate or make the money. Things are going to be taken care of, and make sure our kids are doing what they need to do to learn the construct, and even to the point where they develop their own idea of what a balance is. Because a lot of these kids growing up, don't know how to delegate, don't know what a balance is, they don't even recognize if their own schedules are being mismanaged. And they're being taken advantage of because they're teens. They have an insight like, wait a second, you're causing an imbalancement with my ability and capability to do my homework. I got things to do. Let me set you straight. I got to get off of work at this time so I can balance my school. I got to get things done. I got to work and make sure I take time out to do my artwork. I got to take time out with my wife or my husband to have that QT, that quality time. There has to be a balance. There has to be an understanding balance. Because if there's one is more than the other, we over prioritize what we think is most important, and it's that very thing that splits things apart.
No, it's not about over prioritizing. It's being realistic priorities.
Being practical. Being
realistic. Because you can take anything, you can take anything and just take it to the ooh-wee. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, even with the family, when you're talking about balance, as you describe it, that means that the family has the same mission, that the family is together as far as whatever needs to be done to keep the family going. We're going to do that. It has to be this child sick, or this child needs to get to school, or this child needs got a football game. So we're going to check out Ray's football game and that type of thing. So
I have to ask you a question, and I'm going to take it a little personally with you guys when it comes down to thriving or surviving. When you look at yourself, first, Bernard, do you see yourself by definition, in which we said tonight, do you feel that you are thriving, or are you simply surviving? And taking into consideration that we are just coming out of this pandemic. I say we're coming out, even though some people are going back in. And we know how I feel about that, but what do you feel?
Yeah, me personally, I thrived throughout 2020, the whole nine. I never looked at it as I know it was a bad situation, but I adjust to the information that I had to make the best of the situation. I had opportunities where I had to pivot. So this wasn't working. I know I couldn't do this. So I know that there was always opportunity. See, there's opportunities in the midst of anything going bad. They have a saying that during good times, the rich get richer, but during bad times, the rich get stinking filthy rich. Mm-hmm. See, it's all about mindset. Now, if you set yourself and say, I can't do that, and don't and pigeonhole yourself into this one little area, that's all you can do, when there's a multitude of opportunity in this world, then that's on you. That means you have a poor mentality. You have a poor state of being. So what you have to do is, there are so many multiple opportunities. That's why they still call United States the land of opportunity. There are so many people that come over here with literally nothing, but they do get help from the government that we don't get. Well, I ain't gonna go there, but they still believe that this is a land of opportunity, and they come out, making millionaires, when we have people in my own community that look like me, reflect like me, and been around me that say, "Oh, you can't do this, you can't do this," and that's when times are good.
Right.
See, one thing about thriving and striving is that a thriver is going to thrive in good and bad time. And a survivor is going to survive in good and bad time.
True. Yep.
Right.
It's a mindset.
Depends on how you. It just depends on how you look at it. And this
but I'm thriving, babe. I'm thriving. I'm a sip. So watch this sip. Show how much I'm thriving.
You know what? Hey, do that. No, real quick.
I have a question because I'm kind of confused now.
Okay.
At the beginning of your stuff, you said that you have to focus on one thing at a time to make that a priority. And then just now you said that you have to be open to many things in order to do the things that you want to do.
Yeah, when things are going bad,
which one is it?
No, when things are going bad, you're taking it totally out of context. When things go bad, when one door is shut, there's another door open up. You see what I'm saying?
No.
Do you understand?
So when that door closes, do you need to prioritize that closed door, or just move forward?
No, that door is done.
Okay.
Now you got a new opportunity to do something else.
Okay. So you basically, let me go back to the question at hand. So Bernard, you feel like you've been thriving in the midst of everything that's happened. You still.
Sure.
We all do both. We all do both.
I had to change. I had to change. I had to make a change.
What about you, Rick? What do you
With thriving, surviving, I apply to both. That's how you stay alive.
Same.
You're giving yourself a chance to obtain wisdom. You're giving it because you're giving yourself to realize, if you want to, your thoughts and your aspirations, and wanting to move through the bullshit, move through adversity, realizing adversity, and growing from it. There is no plant or vegetable. There's no fruit or vegetable, from what I've known, from what my grandmother taught me. The best fruits and vegetables that thrive and survive are those that are grown from bullshit, literally. Cow manure. People, there's so many, like my mother. Our neighbors complain about her, about her front yard smelling like manure. But then when those flowers sprouted in spring and blossomed, they all, oh girl, miss, girl, your yard looks so good. Yeah, but all the bullshit that you were smelling. And now you want to give me a pitcher of water to act like you was a part of the process.
Wow.
I'm good. No, I'm good. Okay. Good luck.
Okay. Let me recount this. Everybody is surviving at the mere fact that you're alive. Okay. But when we're talking about, I think when we're talking about this particular subject, we're talking about as far as surviving is just basic human function, period. Everybody on the planet, if you're breathing, you're surviving, point blank, period.
Well, I like the fact that when she said choosing the path of least resistance, that's what surviving is. If you look at that, it goes a little bit deeper than just existing. It goes, people are actually making a choice. They're choosing the path of least resistance. But go ahead.
Well, yeah, but they're choosing to be basic person. They're not trying to aspire to anything. When you're thriving, you're trying to aspire to more than what you already have. What you have is not enough. You have more than enough to take care of your bills. You know, you have abundance of health. So if you have a sickness, that it won't hit you so hard. You know what I'm saying? You exercise, and so your muscles are good. But if you're just surviving, then, you know, I'm happy as long as I can pick up this spoon and feed my face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
that goes into another one, which is expressing lack rather than abundance.
Right.
So I feel like actually thriving and surviving, they're twins. I feel like they're twins, the yin and the yang.
Well, you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
You can't have one without the other.
And I said that from the jump. You can't have one without the other. That's a balance.
What I gotta ask also, well, Shannon, I want to see if you can get the chat. We're gonna have Tianna at first answer whether she's thriving or surviving. Then Shannon, you could do the chat. We want to know if you're thriving or surviving in your opinion. So Tianna, first, you give us an idea where you fall. You feel like you fall into that realm.
I am at the very thin veil between surviving and thriving because I have worked my ass off for the last, 2 years?
Okay.
Started with absolutely nothing. My bank account was probably $1,000 in the hole.
Hmm.
And with the help of my family and friends, uh, as of today, actually, I got my first comma in my bank account again. And it's been a pretty amazing transition to go from a comma negative to a comma positive and surviving that entire process to where I can start focusing on building and thriving from this point forward.
Okay, cool, cool. Shan, what do you feel as far as okay?
I feel like I've been in the middle for the past few years. Even though like I've been pretty successful like in my career and stuff, I just feel like there's always been an emotional place that I've been at that I haven't been necessarily thriving at all. I feel like therapy really, really helped me be able to switch my mindset a little better. And this is gonna be TMI, but like in my last relationship near the end, I lost a kid, and it was a surprise to me because I had just found out January 2020 that I had PCOS. So as far as I known, it was like 80-90% impossible for me to even think about getting pregnant on my own. But like losing something like that, it really kind of like when you lose something that big, there's two things it can do to you. It can make you sit down and think about how you're going to take this and move forward with it, or it's going to destroy you and you're going to end up going down south. And I've always been a big believer that when you lose something or someone big, it's fuel for your fire, especially if it's someone that's supposed to be extremely close to you, like a grandmother or something like that. If you are in the middle, like I lost both my grandmothers while I was in college, and I just kept looking at it like, I keep losing people that are so close to me, that are so special to me, because I need that fire. I need that oil in my lamp so I can have a brighter flame, so I can keep burning through this night. You know what I mean? So like when I lost my child, it not only was it a surprise, but it was something that, I started practicing manifestation. Like when I lost my ex, me and my ex broke up. So it was very much, I was in a place where I could sit down and be like, listen, the universe must have taken something so important from me because it's giving me what I need, because it's taking something that I truly, truly, truly want, but it's not something that I need right now. So I just started keeping a lookout for the things that I need.
Right.
So I think like emotionally before that happening, I was very much at a point where emotionally I was just surviving because I was just trying to find somebody to love. I was just trying to find somebody to understand. I was struggling so hard to understand myself that I couldn't find someone that understood me. As far as like financial going, my career going, I was thriving by the outward appearance, but I had such an emotional turmoil. I was surviving at that point. And I'm not sure where I am now, like career wise. I know I'm working my ass off. I know I'm trying to I just did a podcast the other day,
That's okay.
And I'm at this point where I'm like, either something's going to pop or something's going to break. But I can tell you that I'm probably at one of the most emotionally healthy places that I've been in a while.
Now,
so, I mean, it goes hand in hand. Go ahead.
Jen, that's real shit. And that actually which brought me to the definition of both. So I looked up surviving. Surviving, continue to live or exist, especially in spite of danger or hardship. All right, that's the first one. You dig? And thriving, let's take a look at that. And I did say that they are twins. You dig? Thrive definition. Grow or develop well or vigorously. Tell me why they're not twins. Tell me why they're not twins. We're doing both.
I think I still see them as the yin and the yang, and definitely And I'll say this, and I'm going to answer that with a question to you all in thinking about my own self here. And then we better grab some of the comments in just a few moments. But when I look at even my life, have you ever been really thriving, but you miss your thriving because you're caught up in the drive? That's me.
Woo!
I miss my thrive because I'm caught in the drive.
Tanya,
Right.
Tanya, you ain't right. You ain't right for that.
The midst of the process will eventually take you over. When you're thriving something, you might do things that you don't normally do too.
Whoa.
You know, you might drive over somebody because they're in your way.
Pops,
you know what I'm saying?
Pops, what do you say will take you over? What did you say will take you over?
The process.
Okay, yeah, okay.
See, there's a process of getting there that when you in the zone. See, we get in the zone. It's like for instance, Michael Jordan, to be one example. To get the process of winning a 3-time, 6-time NBA champion, he ran over some people. He hit a couple of his players. He dogged out a couple of players. But his goal was to win an NBA championship. And he thought whatever I have to do to get in your head as a teammate to do this is what I was going to do. And that's what he proceeded. And that's why he's known as the GOAT in basketball right now. You might not like his methods.
But the thing is, I want to take it back to other
but you cannot doubt his result.
But I have to take it away from the sports and the celebrities, because a lot of them, and you'll find out sooner or later, that a lot of them did other things to help their thrivation. When they decided to drive over, using Bernard's terms, they decided to take different routes to really drive over other individuals in order to get there. We won't go there tonight. But I want to focus back on my question. Like I said, how do you sometimes miss your thrive because of your drive? I know I do that. Sometimes I know that what I'm doing is something that's really good, and I've made some type of a milestone. But you can get caught up in that drive that you miss your own milestone because the next
I get that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I get that.
To like reach for the next goal. You know what I mean? We're even from birth, we're all trained to reach from the same goal for the next goal. We're never trained to stop and appreciate, like you're walking on your way to work or whatever, and you walk through a park. We're not trained to stop and smell the flowers as we're walking on our way to work. We're just trained to be focused to get to work, you know? So I'm always a big believer that, you know, even if you just get a job interview, you know, my thing is my things for myself. Okay. So for example, my things for myself. So one of my things, y'all are going to laugh, but one of my things is Starbucks. So if I've had like a really long day, like the other day, I went out and I did a podcast. I went and talked to a guy at a club that's going to put my art up, you know what I mean? And just like kind of push my stuff for me. You know, and I went and did a couple of other things. Tomorrow morning, I have a photo shoot with some friends. I've got to go get my dog food, you know. So one of my treats for myself for doing all of these things and trying to stay focused is maybe I'll stop and go get myself a Starbucks or something like that. And it's just that little celebration to be like, look at how much I've done. I deserve this. You know, you kind of like got to trick your brain into like telling yourself, hey, I deserve this small reward, even if I don't feel like this is a big blow up personally, and I feel like I need to still keep working. There still has to be that pause where you're like, I did good today. Good for me.
That's what I did with my Bola, my Moscato this week. I said, you have this, do something, you know.
Well said.
But I guess when we look at it, everybody pretty much feels
Well,
like.
I want to. Can I give a shot at what you just said? Because you said you missed out because you were so busy.
Driving.
Because you're so busy driving that you can be so you missed the thriving.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is that sometimes, especially as solo entrepreneurs, you can get business, but you're not working on your business.
Right.
And what happens is that you're so busy that you don't see that there's other things that you need to be doing because you're so in the mechanism of the gearing and of the movement of your business that you realize that, hey, the goal was to hit 80 hours a week.
Right.
And that's where you have to come back and look at your goals and your mission statement, I think, on a daily basis to keep you on task. That's it, and let the main thing stay the main thing instead of getting so busy in your inner workings of your business that you forget about the prize. I mean, there's a prize at the end, and then once they have a Q1, Q2, Q3, and a Q4, and they have goals for that. And once they finish the Q4, they have another goal for the next year, and they have goals for Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. But a lot of times, solo entrepreneurs, we get so wrapped up, we don't get to the first goal because we're so busy working in our company instead of on our company.
Right, I got you.
Which you just explained why we should have a what?
A Starbucks
party.
or better yet, a star balance.
Or a star sticker, whatever you want.
You cut off.
How my head's in the stars. It's all good.
Priorities.
Oh, let's grab the chat real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll start heading towards the close.
Oh, what's up? Yeah, let's go ahead.
Bravo, pops.
I think it's mainly us going back and forth.
I think back up was it Charles?
So
brother-in-law came in too.
Yeah, brother-in-law came in, and Charles says, breaking news, Pops, both you and the Rickness are right on this issue. And then bro-in-law Jacob said, it's hard out here for, listen, that's what I was giggling about earlier, okay? He said, it's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to make money to pay the rent. And Tianna says, I'm sitting over here bouncing 5 jobs, and they are all priorities so that I can have food. I have been surviving for so long, but then I am starting to thrive since I have been surviving. And Rick says, like businesses have mission statements. And Bestline Entertainment says, hey. And she was like, when I was talking about stuff, she was like, wow, oh my God. And then I said, my bad if that got deep, trigger warning on my stories because I'm not scared to share. And when we were talking about not stopping to smell the flowers on the way to work, she was like, right.
Mm-hmm. We're smelling coffee tonight.
What's up for? But yeah, I really appreciate everybody coming into the chat, and I really appreciate all the comments everybody's making. This is one of those subjects when you talk about it, some people don't always know where they are. They don't always know where they fall. And some of it is pride that kicks in, where nobody wants to be exactly like, I'm just surviving, and they want to feel like they're simply driving. But when we're honest with ourselves, like Rick said, and then Bernard had the way of saying it too, that they do work together. They are the definite unity. What are you coughing about? You need to get that checked out. But they are definitely the yin and the yang. They do work side by side.
Rick's crazy.
I know from myself. I know when
I thought you were talking about Rick and Pops being yin and yang, and I was like, that's funny because Rick's beard is white and Pop's beard is white. So, I mean, Rick's beard is black and Pop's beard is white. So,
okay,
like,
that's colorism. That's colorism.
Y'all had to understand. Y'all had to explain yolk to me. I'm a simple-minded person. Right?
We know.
Hold on. Real quick.
Y'all have to change your names now to yin and yang. Y'all figure it out.
Yeah, one of y'all got to be yin, one of y'all got to be yang.
Right, Rick, what you got?
We're both saying the same thing, just differently. It's just depending on the measure of people, like how they interpret it. Just like me and him, he knows I'm saying what he's saying. He may take it to another degree, like I'm saying what I'm saying. He'll take things to a certain degree, but it's still an equal measure, the way I see it. So
don't get it twisted. It's not a battle. It's not young against old, a different opinion. It's just more like,
that doesn't have to be
explained. It's more I've been where he got to go, so I know a little bit more than you do.
Is that what an inch came in? Is that where that bull itch came in? Rick,
that bull itch.
No. Wisdom is in the silver. Don't get it twisted. Wisdom is in the silver. On top. Straight up.
We good. We good. It's all gravy.
Well, I'm glad that we were able to pull on this subject tonight. This was a Michael subject, and I really looked at it. And he's under the weather. I just really didn't know whether we could pull this together because, like I said, sometimes they're so close together, and didn't really know what folks would feel if they could separate the two honestly. And I think we did a good job doing it. But we're gonna raise his hand. But we're gonna just.
The only thing we didn't touch what other people were experiencing out there. What is your experience about people who are surviving and thriving out there? Because I met a lot of people who weren't really thriving. They weren't really making it really well. I had a lot of. Sometimes But I had a lot of people who had to go to therapy, and I had family members who had to go to therapy, and I had friends who lost loved ones, not just one time, but it seemed like they were going to a funeral like literally every week. It was a lot of their elderly friends, and literally going to a funeral after funeral and funeral and funeral. And don't get me wrong, when I said I was thriving, did I have my moments that I just needed to survive? Absolutely. Did I have my moments where I was depressed because this was a new world to me? Hell yeah. I mean, I think when people think you're thriving, that you don't have moments where you're surviving. Absolutely you do. Absolutely.
Well, let's do it this way. We actually have some information, some strategies, 10 strategies for thriving. As a matter of fact, I like this quote by there's a quote by Maya Angelou here. I'm going to real quick. The mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. And I like that Maya Angelou. Now, now let's get into these 10 strategies.
That's like sounds right there, baby.
Head to the wrap here. 10 strategies to help you to thrive. Number 1 is feel. Remember a period in your life when you were thriving. Spend time re-experiencing how thriving felt. Think about what you can do now to get that feeling back.
Ooh.
Okay. Number 2, the gratitude visit. This one's simple but effective. Think of someone who has had a major impact on your life and tell him or her how they've helped you, and you can send an email, a letter, a call, or a visit. That's the gratitude visit. Number 3, exercise. Engage in at least 30 minutes of aerobic exercise every day. You'll improve your health of your brain and body and feel more vital in exercise. And actually, I do that every day except for Fridays when we do the show here. because I just happen to feel better when I do it. Number 4, what went well? Every evening, write down 3 things that went well in your life and what you did to make them happen.
Gratitude.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Yes,
Honest
I like
to God,
that.
that's a big one.
I like that one. Number 5, welcome change and challenges. Be optimistic rather than avoiding change and challenges. Welcome them as powerful tools to help you grow and learn. Believe that you have the resources and the ability to thrive when faced with change and challenges. Not challenged? Do something that scares you. Ha! What do you think about that? Do something that scares you.
No, doing something scary is about getting out of your comfort zone.
Yes. I like
So
that.
I have a problem with that one.
Yeah, we know.
There is very few
Why?
things that I've ever said no to, so there's not really that many that can scare me. Like, what are you going to tell me? Go swim out into the ocean?
Oh. I understand.
I'm still scared of the ocean. That's a
I'm
big mystery
I'm
over
scared
there.
of you outside. I'm just scared of you, period.
I know, right?
You
Okay.
You wild, girl. You wild.
Number 6, discover your strengths. Make a list of your strengths. Ask someone to help you. Okay. Once you identify your strengths, find new ways to use them. Okay.
Ooh.
Number 7. You got something on that?
That was a little
That's
spicy.
called ouch.
Made me a little spicy.
Baby's coughing.
It's called ouch. That's what it's called. It's called ouch.
I need some cheese with my wine. I'll be right back. No.
Okay, number 7, increase positivity.
Absolutely.
According to psychologist Barbara Fredrickson, experiencing more positive emotions when we interact with others is key for well-being. Be positive when you interact with others and encourage others to do the same for you. Surround yourself with people who are positive, thriving, and supportive. Limit your exposure to people who are negative. What are you saying, Tianna?
Actually, I've been practicing this over the last year. Is I say 2 things constantly, and it has been publicly or has been acknowledged by several people when I forget I'm doing this. I say I'm proud of you and I appreciate you way too often, and to the point where they're like, "Do you though?" I'm like, "Yeah."
That fakery.
It's not fakery.
It's not. I really am proud of my learners who accomplished the goal of learning algorithm XYZ today, and then they learn something new the next day, and then they learn something new the next day, which has me repeat myself way too much, but it's still genuine that I am proud of them.
Especially to that extent.
So, I find this one difficult, not on my end, but I find it difficult on the receiving end. That people, I know people who would rather swallow their tongue than to give me a compliment. I know people who would probably chew off their fingers.
Oh yeah.
Than to do that, and that's a sad thing. But I've seen that, and I've seen that a little too damn often. And what bothers me is to have those type of individuals in my space. So what that means for me is I have to get to a point that I have to limit those individuals from my space.
Is that any different than people over complimenting or like always patting you on the back, like always you do this well, you do this well all the time? Like I find it very very unsettling. I dig it, I appreciate it, but like over and over again, just like even from the negative, someone always telling you how bad you're doing. I believe like it's no different than anyone always telling you how good you're doing all the time. Of course, it depends on what kind of relationship that you have with them. And because you have a relationship and they know you to a certain extent, you have a relationship with them, but not everything that we do is perfect. You know what I'm saying? So constantly getting a rub on your back.
Yeah.
And you wonder why your back is bleeding.
But I mean, then you gotta look. you've got to look at yourself and the damage that you've been through on your own in order to think that someone is not coming at you. And don't get me wrong, like if someone pats you on the back a certain way, you probably need to double check your back and figure out what they stuck to it. You know what I mean?
Well, over and over and over again. Like,
right, but I'm saying like it,
Right.
and it's very dependent on like the person and the relationship. You know what I mean? Because like I could give an example like with Steven. Okay, so he's used to somebody that is like,
who?
oh, that's so good that you're doing this. Steven, the guy that I'm talking to. So like he's very used to a woman being like, oh, that's so good that you did that, but how does it benefit me? Or asking him like a question what he did on his painting, only to be like, here you go into a whole nother thing, and she just wanted like a short answer or something. So like it's very much like you need to look at the person if they are trying to give you positive reinforcement in order to benefit themselves, or if they're actually coming at you with genuine care for your person. Because every day I tell this man, I'm like, yo, you're amazing. I'm so proud of how far you've come, because he's out doing a gallery in Detroit by himself, you know, and he's making like thousands of dollars off his paintings on his own. And he's like a few years younger than me, and I'm just blown away by him every single day. But that doesn't mean that me telling him how proud I am of him every single day is me being any fake or anything like that. Like, I'm genuinely blown away by everything that this man touches. But that doesn't mean that if I see the anatomy off in his painting, I'm not going to be like, oh, that looks amazing. I'm going to be like, yo, you need to go double check that nose. You know?
Okay.
But I mean,
if you have that relationship, who for like no names, you know, in terms of that,
You know,
Okay, y'all. We got three more, and then we can comment. Let me get these three more in real quick. Number 8 is savor. Take time to savor all life's joys and pleasures. When something good happens to you, take it all in. Be mindful. Slow down. That's what I was talking about earlier. Pause for a moment to take in the good around you. Congratulate yourself when you do well. I'm not good at that. Spend time with people you love. Fill your life with pleasure and give yourself permission to enjoy. That's what we were talking about earlier, the Starbucks and all that. So number 9, increase flow. Remember that, we're going to come back to it. Increase flow experiences. Flow, also known as being in the zone. Remember, this is also the zone. It is mental state where you are fully engaged, focused, and involved in an activity. Find at least one activity, such as dancing, painting, singing, bird watching, hiking, playing a game or instrument, writing, that puts you in a state of enjoyment. Do it several times a week. I gotta get back to it. And then the last one is be kind. One of the most powerful ways to thrive is simply being kind. Being kind is easy, yet doing a kind act creates a powerful, scientifically proven increase in well-being. Don't take my word for it. Experiment with kindness today. Find one completely unexpected kind of thing to do and just do it. Notice how your mood shifts. Okay, and don't forget to be kind to yourself. It's a fabulous way to practice self-compassion. All right.
You know, on that kindness part, you know, I really resonate with that. I really resonate with the kindness part because I used to practice that. You know, I was kind to everybody but Rick, but you know, that's a whole different story. You know. He brings out the Dark Vader in me. You know, that's all right.
You know,
but truly, if you really
have a white beard.
Yeah, Dark Vader with a white beard. You didn't see him with the mask off, did you? You see that? You didn't see that episode when he took it out and said, "Luke, I am your father" and stuff. And he looked up and he had a white beard and stuff, and white hair and everything. He's a white dude too. Anyway,
and I think that Dark Vader said, Luke said, "Man, don't you own child support, Rick? Shut up."
But you know something, back on
Don't talk
increased
about
flow.
child support.
Okay, y'all listen. Increased flow experiences. That's the one where you find something that you like and you do it several times a week. That's where I fail on that because I get so wrapped in the task at hand, the things that I need to do, that sometimes I miss the things that I want to do. And that's what I fail, and I end up feeling bad in myself, at the end of the day when I do my self-assessment, and I'll say something like, did you get to finish reading your script today? No. Did you get to doing some artwork today? No. It's always the things like that that I really need to do. And I find myself over on this whole list of other stuff. I lay in bed in the morning before I get up and I say, can you face all the things that you need to do today? And it's very difficult. At the end of the day, I ask myself, can you do it again tomorrow? They'll say it's hard, but I end up doing it anyway. So I need to balance that and get back to doing the things that increase the flow. This weekend. I ain't gonna wait till next week. This weekend.
Right.
So
It's
ask me next
Saturday.
week. Yeah, ask me next week about my flow. Okay.
Flow, girl, flow, just flow. Flow what you know.
But anybody got anything to say before we get ready to run on to the wrap? Hustle,
I feel like this platform just gets better and better. More ideas and thoughts and opinions and realities come together. As I don't want nothing perfect from this group. Nothing perfect, nothing at all. Because it's like this is like because like working an 8 or 12-hour shift. It's like this is a sense of, you know what I'm saying, the shit that we want to say but can't say on our jobs or whatever. This is very relieving, very meditative for me, and based on the responses and the inclusion in terms of comments and perspectives. This is like the dopest I've experienced in a long time. Tanya, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Since teen focus, this like grown focus. This is grown focus.
Right.
Grown
You know what I'm saying? Straight up, grown focus.
Hold on.
I cannot tell you how many Fridays I've been invited out tonight to go drink, and I'm like, no, I have my podcast. I have my podcast.
You didn't tell me I was here with adults. This is not fair.
It's like we think that we want to I'm like, I want to chill, I want to be someone's like, mother, good damn and good damn and well you can just release with not colleagues. This ain't colleagues. This is family. This hence the living room. The living room.
And I agree with you. Is anybody who knows me, who speaks to me, I'll talk to you about a few things in the after show that I've been experiencing in ways that we can improve. But anybody who knows me, who speaks to me, especially during the week, knows that I want to put my best foot forward. There's a little nervousness going into the Friday night, making sure that I get everything done to make sure that we have a good run for the show. But this is the time where everybody relaxes, let your hair down, speaks to the world about your thoughts and different things that are going on. This is a platform for us to actually not just speak our thoughts, but also to help people out there too. That's our goal with each show, is to help individuals who might have these same concerns, and that we bring something. Remember, the motto is to entertain, but also to inform and educate. That's what I've always been with all my programs. And I'm really glad that you all are here to be a part of this edutainment type of thing that we're doing, okay?
Entertainment.
Thank y'all. Yes.
All right.
This was a great venue. Just to share a couple of things one thing that really stuck out in my mind this week is that when you when you talk to people who may be a little bit negative, then they come with you that negativity. There's 3 things you can always respond with, is that I love you, I wish you well, or I hope you heal.
No, well, just remember, though, hope doesn't do
Use
shit.
that.
Hope doesn't do anything but be a word. That's it. Hope does
Yeah,
nothing.
it's kind of cute. I kind of like that.
But it's a mindset that I wish you well. You can say I hope you well or I wish you well.
Wish you all you want, right?
You know what I'm saying? It's saying the same thing. But of course, being His Highness Rickness, he had to like disagree with me, but you know, that's okay.
But you know what?
Hey,
A little bit of white and black.
Hey, I
white and the black, the yin and the yang.
I don't care. This is for my homies. This is for my homies, but this is for my homies.
All right, let's head to the break. We'll be back to wrap it in just a moment. Going to do just a quick ditty about what everybody got going on this week because we kind of
a little old ditty.
Yeah, just a little ditty.
just a little old ditty.
Just a little
Who got the banjo? Did you bring your banjo, Rick?
I'm like, why would
you bring the?
I was talking about a ditty in a few minutes for real. But Shannon, this coming week, what's going on with Shannon?
Well, as I said earlier, I have a 7 a.m. appointment that I'm going to try and keep, even though y'all know I am not a person of daylight by any means.
No, I've got that.
No, you know I'm going to keep it. I just got this photo shoot tomorrow, and then
just survive through it.
Right, I've got to be all dressed up and have makeup on and have a nice face and all that stuff. And Monday, I'm going to be on a conspiracy podcast. Conspiracy nerds or some geeks. Listen, it's a friends podcast. I'll try and be better about this.
Cool.
And then I've got to come back because we messed up on the recording, but I was on another podcast about art and stuff this past week, and I just finished up this painting behind me. I've got a bunch of stuff open. This is what I'm working on while I was here. This is also going to be for sale. So, I'm open to all that stuff. Element Rose 13 on all my social media. Just go ahead and hit me up. Everything from design to just custom paintings, custom clothes, whatever you need.
Cool. Tianna, what you got going on this week?
So I got a lot going on, as I mentioned earlier. I have like 5 jobs. Coaching, software engineering, web development, and a few other things that I'm working on. So if you need a website, hit me up.
Okay.
And I don't know your socials, but
we got a little feedback coming from somewhere. It might be you, Pops. I can't blame Rick this time because he always says I always.
I got nothing going on.
Okay, then it's Rick. Rick, turn down your sound, man. Okay, Pops. Because I hear a little feedback. Okay.
He just gonna yell.
I just do the fire alarm thing. That's my thing.
Okay, that's your new thing. Okay, Pops, what you got going on this coming week?
I'm doing the new numerology studies, just trying to figure out, the numerology and how it fits into my life. And I'm getting some insights. They're pretty on spot. And in fact, I found out that by looking at numerology, I married the wrong person.
Wow. Wow.
And they were that number that I don't supposed to associate with. And I would have like, that was like, whoa, hold up, hold the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
that's
If I would have
scary.
known that, what I know now.
Right, exactly.
Look, and our ancestors do the same thing. Our ancestors tell us the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I looked up like my son and stuff like that, and like he's like the perfect person. Like I was like, oh, okay, that's why we get along so well. Da 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 da. So it's something. You know, I'm trying to look at things that are. I'm always trying to increase my knowledge because the more I know, I don't know enough. You know, it's just simple. Put it. You don't know what you think you know until you find out you didn't know what you knew in the first place.
No matter how old we get, no matter
how young, immature we are. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I just like, you know, I like this a little bit. But no matter how old you get, you're not too old to learn. You're not too old to learn. And then I'm looking forward to doing a book signing next month. So I'm going to be looking for places to do a book signing for my children's book. For the first one, it's one of many. All in total, I plan to put out 30 books and divided in 3 volumes, and then you know, do the Amazon and do our community, because our community has been. We don't know our history. We don't know our culture. We don't know because of what happened and transpired in the last 400 years. And we went through a matriarchal type of system in our community where you knew your mama, but nobody knew who your daddy was a lot of times back in the day. And that's just how it was. So I'm always trying to get in touch with my root. And I'm always, and right now I'm making the transition of being, you know, an empty nester, which is a whole nother thing. It's a bittersweet thing to see your son be strong and independent and a go-getter. But then again, you like, I wish I had that little boy all over again.
Man.
And I remember when he was little, because Bernard used to spend time with his son. It really did. It really did.
I love my baby boy. I love my baby boy. I love all my kids.
Right.
Dude,
okay, Rickness.
I hate
that going on?
I hate that. I hate that he said that. Like, just watching baby videos, just like I've been on YouTube, just reflecting, watching baby videos with their fathers and how they used to like interact with each other, and just going like kind of like down that memory lane, and giving me reminding me of a sense of remembrance and encouragement and inspiration, just the little things, and just living, and it's been a beautiful road. It's been wonderful. Like being reminded of, you know, your imperfections, even now today, with all the things that's built up during the week. There's a reason, and there's something that you can share, and there's something that you can receive. And that's what I've been experiencing in terms of what's big and what's small. That's not even the case. It's a matter of what you are getting day to day and sharing day to day. And I think everything for this platform, Shannon, Tianna, Pops, Michael, you know what I'm saying, Vivacious, and of course, Candyland, this family, this living room. I love you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you for being you. And thank you for not agreeing to everything that we all say all the time.
Oh gosh, that's boring. That's so boring.
That is my absolute pleasure.
Yes.
We ain't here to pet your ego. I don't believe in petting egos. Only pet dogs.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, we got some more comments before we get to what I was gonna say real quick. Just a few comments there. Shannon, what you got there? I have my glasses, but I can see something's new.
You can see something new.
Yes,
you can see? You good?
Shut up.
Veronica said Pops is tipsy.
Little tipsy? No, tipsy.
Pops is rips. Pops is
And
real cook.
Tianna says, go. When we're talking about do something to reward yourself, she said, go to the beach. And I said, with your favorite, the beach. And she said, yes. And then Beastline Entertainment says, listen to some music. And I said, meditate. Make sure you look yourself in the mirror, in the eye, and tell yourself how beautiful you are inside and out until you believe it. And be gentle with yourself.
Ouch.
And then Beastline said, love you, Auntie. Her medicine's kicking in, and then she's going to go to bed.
I'll see you for. All right. Well, for me, like I said before, I'm struggling. I'm admitting my struggle with asthma. It's been a while since it's taken me down this road. And I'm a little sad that I had to cancel the music video this weekend, but we're going to try it in 2 more weeks. So shout out to Tashiba Sorrells. We're going to go ahead and get his video done really soon. And I'll be popping hopefully up on the Soul Spotlight again soon because we have a lot of things planned. But it was me. I decided to take a step back this week, and I'm just trying to heal. So that's all, just trying to heal. But my social media. Here we go.
We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon. So be sure to like and subscribe. And also check us out on all of our other social media.
Welcome back. You know what we are going to start doing more of? How many of us know out there that Art Imitates Life has a Facebook fan page, Instagram fan page, and Twitter and all that? How many of us know that? So we're going to focus on those a little bit more. So that's all coming soon. We're going to talk about a few things in the after show. So you all with the panel will stick around for a moment. We won't be long because y'all got things to do. And then the breathing, I'm going to get myself back to a
Do you have a nebulizer? I'm sorry, that's personal. I'll wait. No, like a nebulizer, like
she don't want to use it. She don't want to use it. She don't want to use it.
Yeah, I got all the solution.
Okay.
That's right. I was thinking inhaler. I got all the solution, but I don't like how it makes my body feel.
I got you. It's like
Veronica was telling me about. I don't want to put the roids.
I feel that.
Yeah, so I'm controlling it as much as I can, just controlling it. But I thank you all for yet another wonderful show here. I've had a great time. Thank you for taking the time to be here another Friday night. I appreciate your time so much. You just don't know. And for those who couldn't be here tonight, sickness or just different things going on. Michael, Margo, Veronica was in and out, and we all send our love to you. We will be here next time. So imparting, make sure that you understand that good things come to those who believe. Better things come to those who are patient, but the best things come to those who never give up. I'm Tanya Dixon, and this is the Living Room Team. All right, we'll see you. We'll see you next time. Art Imitates Live.